Hi guys, and thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, I'm Marilyn, and if you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. In a recent video, I showed you the Vevor industrial sewing machine. Mainly I showed you the anatomy of it, I showed you some of its features, and at the end I stitched out this little card wallet. We're going to continue with that machine today, but in today's video, we're going to be testing out on a lot of different materials, most of which I have not tried it out on. So we have a woven fabric that's kind of like a curtain fabric. This is a waterproof canvas. We have denim. We have cork fabric. We have an embossed leather. We have a suede leather, another embossed leather, and then a veg tan leather. If you're curious to see how this machine does with these, I hope you'll stick around. We're going to use black polyester thread for everything that we sew today. And this is Gutermann heavy duty upholstery thread. I have my fabrics arranged from what I think will be the easiest to the hardest. So let me go ahead and move these over. I have my machine on a speed of 200. If you want to change your speed, you click on the P button for parameters, then the S button for speed, and then you can use the up and down arrow to change that speed. So this will go all the way up to 3700. That is way too fast for me. So let's put this back down to 200. Once you get it to the speed that you want, then you have to push the S button again to save it. So we're going to start out with this. This is just a woven fabric, not real thin. I guess you might use this for curtains or something, but let's go ahead and double it over. And you lower the presser foot right back here with a lever. Now, I have it set that it's going to have the needle down in when it ends, so you click this little half stitch button right here to raise it. Let's take a look at that, and that looks very, very good. Now my stitch length right now is set for, it looks like right at 3. So let's go ahead and turn this, turn it again. That way we will have 4 layers of this fabric in there. And as I suspected, this has no problem going through that. I don't think it's going to have a problem going through many of these. But I haven't tried them all, so we'll see together. That looks really good. Now, besides the fact that it's curvy, because I made it curve. Now let's move on to denim. This is cut out of one of my husband's old pair of jeans. This is going to be easy peasy. And I don't have to go too far to show you that this works really nicely. That looks great. It's folded over several times. All right, let me count. How many layers do I have? 6. Okay, 6 layers of denim. The biggest issue is getting it under that foot. No problem at all. Now this next one, this is the back side of it. This is a waterproof canvas. I guess that's what I would call it. I think this would be great on the inside of purses. I think I got this at Joann's before they closed. Now this isn't very thick at all. When it stopped there, I had raised my foot on the pedal. That's all that was. And went through it just fine. Now that's probably where I stopped. There's a tiny little hump there. So that is 3 layers, 4 layers. Let me try to do that again. So that's 3 layers, 4 layers, 5 layers, 6 layers. That looks great. Now we're moving on to cork. Now this cork is something that I got at Hobby Lobby. It is considered cork fabric because the cork is bonded to a piece of fabric. All right. No problem whatsoever. Also, I'm just using the needles that came with the machine. I'll see if I can't figure out what size that is, and then I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. So there's 2 layers, 3 layers, 4 layers. That looks wonderful. Now we're going to go for this suede, and that's not very much. Let me cut off a little piece. We're going to try this 2 ways. So first I'm just going to double it over. And this is actually a pretty nice heavy suede. It's real leather, but it is suede. I love this color. Looks good. Now I'm going to try to get 4 layers out of this. And the hardest part is going to be getting it under that foot. All right, doesn't want to go under there. Let's do 3 layers. There we go. Maybe if I smashed it down, I could get it under there. Looks good, no problems. Now look at this, isn't that gorgeous? It isn't real thick, but it's been embossed and it has some coating of a color on it. So it might be a little tough. I don't know, let's see. And I don't want to waste too much. That's enough for earrings. We'll start with our 2 layers. Went through it just fine. Now let's see. I think I'm just going to be able to get 3 layers of this. It is thin enough. I think that I could get 4 layers under that presser foot. I don't think that'd be an issue. It's just I didn't have enough on here. No problem whatsoever. So I have an idea. Let's try to do 6 layers. Now I don't have a lot of sewing room left, but enough to see if it works. So I'm going to fold it like that. Let me trim off some of this thread. I don't know if I can get 6 layers under there. Now there's not 6 layers back here, but as soon as I stitch just a few stitches, it's going to be to where there's 6 layers. Can you see that right there? Now, I would not sew this many because that's tough to get out of there. But the good news, and it meets up with the other stitches, it went through it. Didn't seem to have a problem. Here's another piece of embossed leather. And I think this is just embossed to look like ostrich. I don't think this is actually ostrich. I'm going to do this a little bit differently this time. So there's 2 layers. Go ahead and put 2 more layers on here. And that worked. That was a very, very tight fit though. So there it is, going through 4 layers of that. Then our last piece of leather here is just a veg tan leather. Now veg tan leather has a tough surface. I would not call that thick, I would not call that thin. Now this is a little bit tough to just fold over and sew, especially if I want to get 3 and 4 layers out of it. So let me cut off a couple of layers. Let's add a 3rd layer to it. We'll add a 4th layer to it. That is very, very thick. I don't think I should add a 5th layer to that. You know I want to though. No, that would not be wise. I don't want to shove this under that presser foot any more than what it is. But let me show you how thick this is right now. Look at how thick that is. Let me get my calipers and measure that. So here's my calipers. I have them set to inches and I've zeroed them out. And this is little over 1/4 of an inch thick. So if you are curious just how thick the materials and what types of materials you can do on this machine, I hope this video helped. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. And if you're interested in this machine, I have a link to it in the video description as well.